Hello. So for my project part two, I did a Dig for a Cause, which Dig for a Cause is a sand beach volleyball tournament which will take place at Manhattan Beach, and all of the proceeds and all of the entries, fees, and donations will all go to the American Cancer Association. Dig for a Cause is, like I said, a summer beach volleyball fundraiser. It will not only raise awareness for beach volleyball, but it will raise money for the American Cancer Foundation so that we can work on cancer research and also helping with different treatments for patients in different facilities in different hospitals so that we can, better accommodate cancer patients. Everybody is affected by cancer, whether we know somebody or we have seen somebody, a family member, a friend, and so unfortunately, it is a very heartbreaking thing that affects a lot of us. The feasibility of this event. It will attract people of all ages and families and the elderly or disabled people. So there will be different divisions to accommodate everybody. There will be a more advanced division where people will sign up, and it will be either women's doubles or men's doubles or co-ed. There will be an elderly division where it will be obviously not as competitive and not necessarily elderly, but if the competitive division is teenagers to 30s, and then people who are in their 50s or the 60s, they want to compete but they're not going to be able to do it at such a high level. That's where I would say is the elderly or older division. There will be a disabled division for a wheelchair obviously cannot be that accommodated in the sand. However, we will make it happen that if someone in a wheelchair does want to play, that the other opponent has to hit it straight to them so they have a better chance. Or of those with mental disabilities, they'll be able to play. They'll be playing with a lighter volleyball called a volley light, so that it won't be as hard for them. And we'll also have a children's division, which will play with an inflatable volleyball, and the different heights of the nets will change depending on each division. So the potential outcomes of this event. So there will be the strengths are obviously to promote healthy habits, and as well as to promote volleyball for all ages, genders, and races. Dig for a Cause will be a fun competition that will raise money for a great foundation that affects so many people. And their participation fees, there will be donors who will turn in prizes, different fun giveaways. We'll have raffles during the event, so those watching can also be involved. People on the beach seeing it can be involved in donating, and it will be just a really great event. There will be also, the way we'll have it set up is there'll be food trucks. There'll be contributions. Obviously, their proceeds will go to them, but they will also have buckets and stuff for the American Cancer Association, and we will have other food trucks donating food so that the spectators can buy food, and we will provide food vouchers for those participants so that that's something that they get for free for registering. Some weaknesses is that beach volleyball is obviously a growing sport, especially in Southern California. So having a fundraiser beach volleyball tournament, it could possibly take away from competitive tournaments, or it could take away from the fun and the awareness that we're trying to get through, and having too many competitors, not understanding that it's a charity tournament and not a competition to win or be aggressive or have poor sportsmanship. Other beach volleyball fundraisers would there are a lot of other volleyball fundraisers. There's CBVA Association, and there's some one other similar charity. It's a charity beach volleyball tournament, and it helps inner city kids. Some positive outcomes range from gaining popularity for beach volleyball, gaining community support. It brings the participants together for a good cause with the Cancer Association, and it's it's reasonable in price, but also those proceeds that they're paying to play gets them a free t-shirt. It gets them a free food voucher from either the food trucks or the other food brought in, and all that money goes to the American Cancer Association. Some threats, possible threats, could be risk of bad weather on the beach, and there could be poor advertisement or lack of participants, which would then be a negative cause for raising money for the foundation. So the budget, the very minimum budget, the community, like the local beach in Manhattan, will give us their nets to use. So they will be donating that, so we don't have to bring our nets. The only thing we have to do is bring lines to make the court, and then obviously change the lines accordingly depending on the division. And the only other thing that we would have to really bring would be tables and tents, which would also be donated from all of the volunteers who will be helping. They'll bring their own. Each volunteer will be responsible for bringing a case of water, so again, there's no budget there. However, we will have to buy ice to accommodate all of the waters and drinks that we will give the participants so that everyone's hydrated. There will be prize donations. All the donations, all the prizes will be donated from either local communities or different foundations. So it can range from food, it can range to clothes, it could be volleyball related, it could not. It kind of depends on the donations that we get during that year and how generous people are, and that's where a lot of our stuff is going to come from, is from the community. It's going to come from local people who, the American Cancer Association is important to, or just giving back to the community is important to. The budget also, we don't have to pay anyone because it's going to be all volunteer help, and the people who will be in charge of it, they're the ones who are actually putting, probably more money into it, really, because the biggest thing budget-wise would be to make our own shirts. If we can find someone to donate shirts, it'd be awesome. Or, donate the t-shirts and we get them printed, or vice versa. But without that being donated, we would have to, put that out for, at least $1,000, depending on, because we're assuming we're going to have a good amount of participants. With that being said, though, we are going to be really reach and have a high goal to raise $10,000, thinking that we're having $40 per team, and we're going to have at least 20 courts out there, and it's going to be an all-day event from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. and we just want to be able to raise money through the volleyball, through the food, through any just other donations, and so I think that is a very easy goal to reach for the Dig for a Cause. The personnel, like I said, mentions it's dependent on volunteers for their help, their prizes, for tents and tables, for food, for water. The whole Dig for a Cause fundraiser tournament is going to run on these volunteers, and they are going to be a huge part of making the Dig for a Cause a possibility. Vendors also will be food trucks. There'll be community members. We're going to encourage a lot of the community to come down, so you'll see local policemen, you'll see local business people, and in Manhattan we're going to have a lot of volunteers be picking up around that beach is clean, because we're very fortunate to have the Manhattan Beach let us use the tents and use that area on Memorial Weekend, which is a huge popular weekend. I would say the personnel would be around 30 volunteers, all switching in and out throughout the day, since it is a 9-hour day. It will be a long day. And the next issue is check-in procedures. There will be a registration tent and table where people who have pre-sign up registrations that they did online will be able to sign in, check that they're there, automatically get a t-shirt. They sign a waiver. If they have not paid, they will pay then. They'll get their free food voucher, and they'll be directed to what court they're on, where the food is, and what exactly will be happening today. If they have not registered online, we are more than welcome have walk-on teams, and we'll have walk-on people come in if they want to play. If they just see the advertisement or they see the tent and they see the courts, and they want to come on in, the same thing. We'll have them pay for registration, sign a waiver, give them a participation t-shirt and a free food voucher, and then, show them to whichever division's court they're at. There will be beach parking. That cost is not covered though. That is going to have to be paid through the local beaches. So that's for the transportation. And lastly, sponsors. Obviously, the American Cancer Association is going to be a huge sponsor. Although we are donating money to them, they're going to let us use some signs that are theirs so that we can raise awareness. They're going to do a little snippet ad on their website so that people are notified that, hey, if you want to do more for the American Cancer Association, to come down to Manhattan Beach and play in the Dig for a Cause charity tournament. And the Manhattan Beach local high school volleyball teams, both boys and girls, are going to all be there helping, playing, and just they're going to really make it on the high school adolescent level. They're going to make it very well known that what's happening. They're going to advertise it at their schools, advertise it to their parents, and so that everyone knows what's happening so we can gain more awareness from our sponsors. Thank you.